Hello, and welcome to the Sunshine Connection, or also the Sunshine Village, kind of a subset focused on connection with living together in a village, an eco project, or anything of the likes, reconnecting with ourselves, each other, and nature. My name is Ian, or Platy the Sunshine Platypus, and today I am here in a beautiful spot. It's actually an eco project in Portugal, bringing in the 10 Principles of Burning Man, which I would love to talk about in another video because I'm hoping to get to find time to talk with the person starting it here. And if not, I will share more about it later. But I am also here. I've chosen a spot to do this video with this beautiful pine tree behind me and this big rock and an area that is super peaceful and calm and reminds me of a favorite place in the wilderness of California, where I spent much of my childhood once a year visiting, where we got together with family, extended family, friends, and just had a shared amazing life experience together. And I chose this place because all of that reminds me of what I would like to talk about today, which is this idea of new family, family that isn't necessarily biological, going into a time where we really find alignment with people that we resonate with and ways of choosing to live together as we might do in a village or just in any context that we might choose, really. And how this idea of finding our extended family, our new family that we choose, our chosen family, our tribe, however you might see it or describe it. There's many different words and ways of thinking about it. It's as we come into a new time and way of being in the world, choosing that family that we choose to spend our lives and our experience of time with here in this lifetime, in this journey. And specifically delving into how we go about doing this in a system of energy exchange, or not even a system, just energy exchange with each other. One thing that I have felt a little bit challenged by as we move into new times and ways of being and interacting with each other is this sharing of my life excitements, my interests, my passions, my light, and oftentimes doing so just because I want to, because it feels good to share that with others, and not necessarily doing it in exchange for money, which is a very significant way from the way we've been doing human history lately, and what I might term the old way that we are shifting out of, as that way seems to not be working so well anymore. Um, and recognizing that we're coming into a new way where that can either be doing things for each other as gifting, which is the Burning Man connection, as gifting is one of the 10 principles, giving without expecting anything in return, or trade, or anything that's not specifically transactional. I give you this amount of money for the cost. And noticing, again, back to the challenge, that this is something that's come up a lot for me, where we are trying to figure out as humans how we make this shift, because we still, we have a foot in both worlds. We live in reality. Sorry, let me just move the camera out of the sun. We are coming from a reality where, things do still cost money. We have to buy food. We have to pay for, and I shouldn't say have to, we're still choosing to participate in systems where we spend money to put gas in the car right now. You can't just go and be like, here, I made this pie, I'd love to give it to you in exchange for, this gas from the gas station. That's just not how things work right now. So we find ourselves in this place where we have to still have a foot in both worlds as much as we're wanting to, and shifting into maybe a new way that feels more feels better and more kind of heart focused and centered, and this more human relational transaction together, that is ideally symbiotic and feels good to everybody involved, that we are still needing some way to make money. And this comes up again in how we share our light and express and explore our passions. And so sometimes finding that to be a challenge with um, friends or maybe newer acquaintances that are presenting as friends and wanting that kind of connection, which feels really good, and what many of us seek, and are seeking in this life, is connection with others that feels good. And then it turning into, oh, you should take my yoga class. It's on, Saturdays, and it costs $20, or sign up for my this or that or the other thing. And sometimes I feel caught off guard at the very least of like, oh, I thought we were just chatting and sharing, and I was sharing, some of what I know or my passions are light, and you were sharing yours, and just this was just, a kind of light, fun thing. And then all of a sudden, I'm not sure if this is friendship, just connection that doesn't have any requirements, or if this is turning into business and in kind of a transactional way, like, oh, yeah, I will, that thing of also the bait and switch kind of idea of marketing that some people are falling into, is I'll give, this and then try to bring you in. And I think that all of these things can be done in a good way. What I would offer as one possibility to do so is that we start to shift into a way where we have two different ways, again, because we have a foot in both worlds, right? Where we want to step into maybe a less transactional and less money based way of living, that we can just share with each other freely, and it feels good to give and then to receive without someone expecting something in return. I'm sure that you've experienced a time like that where it feels good, and sometimes it's catches us by surprise. Some of the projects that I share, I offer, oftentimes it's an experience of play, and people are like, "What's the catch? Like, what? How much does it cost? Et cetera, et cetera." And I'm like, "No, it's free. Just come play. Just come experience this. This is just something that I would like to share with you." And so again, this is, I bring this up because I think that many of us are, working through these things, and myself included. It's very much a part of my own journey right now. Is to really become clear and defined with myself, like, okay, well, I do want to share, be in service to humanity, and offer these things without any kind of a charge, just, to share. And then I also would like to do my passion to be able to make money and survive, as that's still necessary, to have money in this world. And so having clear offerings of both, like, okay, in this time, in this moment, and in this way, I'm going to share. And it could be the exact same thing. Like, for example, one is my magical light experience, which, if you haven't experienced, hopefully sometime I can share with you. And I offer this in one way that is just, again, shared and free. And then in another way, maybe I figure out how to use it to have a monetary exchange, and but also to be very clear with that communication of, hey, this is a way that I support myself with this, and you're welcome to do it. And also not necessarily needing to tell people over the top. And again, this is all of our choice, and just feeling into for ourselves and how we choose to interact with others, is when we're offering the free thing, for me, I'm going to personally choose to be more subtle not even necessarily say, oh yeah, if you enjoyed that, I also, do this in exchange for money. But just more that as we become aware that, of course, everyone wants to do their passions and they might still need money to live, that it's an unsaid thing. Like if I'm offering whatever it is, in a free expression and way, then if others are drawn to it and they'd like to have more outside of my free offerings, they can approach me and say, hey, I loved that. I would love to have more. Do you offer one-on-one of this or whatever? And that way I don't need to be trying to sell myself, because personally I don't really enjoy trying to over the top sell myself anyways. I'm happy to share my passions, but again, with the focus on because it feels good, because I want to share it, not because I want to sell this or myself or what I have to offer to someone else for money. I would like that to just be a secondary kind of thing. And that's part of our transition too, as we move into a new way of doing things in the world, where things are more about the experience of life and the reason behind that. And an energy exchange becomes secondary of even a feeling of, oh, I would like to share this thing with this person because they've shared something with me that felt really good. Or not even, again, a direct transaction between two people. It can be, oh, these people have been sharing, other people have been sharing things with me. uh, Ian hasn't necessarily, but I just feel good because this is just how we're doing things in the collective, that I would like to share my thing with him. um, and so it becomes much more just an ethos, a way that we live and choose to live as human beings, kind of a pay it forward way, if you want to think of it that way, but a way that feels good for everybody involved. And it also gives us more freedom and empowerment to choose when we feel that we have enough energy or that we want to share something. If I'm feeling depleted and lower energy, like maybe it's not the time to share something, which in the old way, well, I still would have had to go to work to get my paycheck to put food on the table. And now when I feel like I have a lot of energy and a lot to give, I can give that, and then we build energy together. And I feel like I get more energy by sharing what I have to offer, and we just, yeah, build each other up, and feels really good. And if I'm feeling more challenged by life or having lower energy, I don't have to feel like I need to do this or offer myself right now. I can have the chance to go inward and, maybe receive more, knowing that I also give when I am able. And now is a time when I need to balance myself out and receive a little more. So, yeah, let's see. That was a lot. Let me just hone in and see if there's anything else I would like to say and share about that. Also to say, in any of these videos, sometimes I have a conversation with someone else, like I am hoping to do on the Burning Man side of things, with my new friend here. And sometimes I am just inspired to, because I'm so excited to share things that come in from spending time in beautiful nature like this. And I'm always curious to hear your thoughts, ideas, excitements. So please reach out. Let's have a conversation if you feel inspired. Anything, we're creating this reality together. And that is how we do it and make it happen, is sharing these ideas, seeing what resonates and what direction we all want to head collectively as humans together to enjoy this lifetime. Um, Oh, one other thought that I just had that I wanted to share that might have been better to share earlier on is around this idea again, as we shift from connections with each other that might be, historically or in our recent human experience, more transactional, business based, money based, and shifting away from that way of being, because I'm noticing it not working so well and not feeling as good. Maybe you've noticed similar things. into this new way of newfound family, spending time and experience and interacting with people by choice because it feels good and because we are choosing a similar way of living that's not so transactional based and is more heart based and connection with other human beings based, is this idea of, well, what is family? What have we historically experienced in just recent times, particularly in this idea of biological family, your immediate family, you know, your parents, your siblings, when you're any family that you're living together with specifically, and asking ourselves the question, well, are we charging money of our family? Am I asking my parents to pay me money to cook for them if I'm staying at their house in this case, or you know, when I was living in the same house as them? Are they, as me being their child, asking me to pay for the service of cooking or for the food that they bought to cook with, or am I charging my sister to play with me, or you know, you get the point, on and on. And so as we take this kind of idea and concept, which I mean, you know, maybe some people are doing that and have done that with their biological families, but traditionally and for most of us, that's not the case. You know, this is just things that are taken for granted, or hopefully not. Hopefully there's at least, you know, gratitude felt, ideally, um, with this way of living together. So if we take this kind of course, you know, that makes sense, that's been that way, and that's just how we've been doing life in our past, and we extend that to this new slash old way of choosing to live, and a new model for how we might go into in living together and interacting together, is, well, if I am now looking for my family, my new family, that can include biological, of course, and it's opening up the doors to this finding our tribe, finding our soul family, finding just whatever you want to call it, people that feel good that you want to live with and spend your time with, whether that be cooking, living together, working together, you name it, anything, spending time together and experience. Um, is, well, what about how do we just share our gifts and our passions, since that's what we want to do anyways, that's what feels good, and that's what we're all trying to do, as we, you know, try to make a business of it or make money doing it. um, how do we openly and freely share that with each other and those that are in our lives? And again, you know, as we are still in two different worlds, or shifting, or whatever you want to call it, transitioning into a different way, it's okay to have both. And I just invite us all to consider and think about, how are we choosing to do that? How am I choosing to step more into my passions in a way that makes money so I can survive in this money centric world and way of being? And how do I also, at the same time, bring those passions and share it with these people that I love and care about, and want in my life, in a way that I can offer it for free and just out of the goodness of my heart, because it feels good, because it feels good to share, because it also supports me in getting positive feedback from these people that care and are going to say, you know, if we resonate, wow, that was great, Ian. That was great, Platty. Thanks for playing with me. Thanks for sharing that. That was awesome. Because that's what builds us up and makes me realize that, oh, wow, what I have to share, people are interested in, people want. So now I can take that experience that I've just, you know, gotten the chance, the opportunity to offer with others who see me and see me for who I am and what I share and are excited by that, to then take and feel confident and good to create a business or create a way to monetize it and make money in this other way. And again, having that clear separation of, these are my friends, these are my family. If they want to support me in a financial way, that's great, you know. And I think that's also often why we do that. We see, oh, these people are the supportive ones in our lives, so maybe they can also help me and support me in a way to get over to this more money focused way and business way of being in the world. which again is great. I'm not going to turn away any support financially from friends and family or people in my life that I'm offering, just to share with out of feeling good for me. And I'm not suggesting that any of us need to do that. I am just suggesting that, that's something to look at and something to feel into, and to maybe put more focus on differentiating that. Again, I just speak from my own experience. It puts me off of connecting with people, and at the very least, it confuses me when my friends or people that I'm just sharing a fun experience with then quickly jump into their business part of that and how I might be a customer in that. So again, just an invitation to look at how we do that with each other and how we shift into a new way of being that um, feels good to me. And I imagine you've experienced that too. So, yes, to finish up, I feel excited about all of this and getting to share and opening this conversation because I think that is a big part of it. Because I think, again, this has just become a little more clear and back into my current mindset by getting to talk with someone else about my passion for Burning Man and the 10 principles. One of them, again, as I said, being gifting, which I'll again jump more into in a future video. Um, and getting the excitement of where we have been in humanity and where we have the potential to go, and inviting conversation around that, and yeah, just ways that we can improve that interaction. Um, I always like to finish these videos with just an offering um, of something that any of us can do in this direction to bring more connection and positivity to our world. That, again, doesn't have to be a big step or anything that requires money or anything else like that that we may or may not have or feel the capacity to do. And I think in this case, I kind of already shared it, is just looking at ourselves and how we're choosing to show up in the world to offer our gifts. And yeah, asking ourselves, okay, well, so I have this passion, I would like to share it. How can I do so in a way that supports me in a financial way and a system of our um, current world or past world, whatever you want to say, works. And then how can I share that same gift, passion, excitement in a way that I would like to move more connection with family? Um, Simple question as that, asking ourselves. And along with that, we become more clear with what that passion is that we want to share, and questions around why are we sharing it, etc. So, yeah, I invite you to ask that, to talk with others about that question and see what arises. And again, please feel free to share in comments on this video any thoughts that you have, ideas, things that have inspired you, and talk to me in person, whatever you feel called. Lots of love to you. Thanks for watching, connecting, and bringing more connection into this world through sharing your passions and your joy. And lots of love. Ciao.